Gas prices already the highest in U.S. history. The national average, $4.23 a gallon tonight. That's up 59 cents in a week.
Used car prices are up about 17% over a year ago. In some cases, a used car can actually cost more than a new car, if you can believe that.
U.S. mortgage rates have soared to new levels, signaling a new wave of economic uncertainty. For the first time in over a decade, the average rate has climbed to 5%.
Wow.
This comes as inflation appears to be putting a damper on the country's housing market.
There is no denying that there is no escape from what's about to come. You think you know what hardship is? You think you know what pain is? Well, let's just see what this does to you. A recession. You see, the last time a recession hit us, I was no more than a college student in 2008. Yes, sir. I had no experience in credit, I had no experience in the real estate market, and I didn't really know what I was doing. And I'm willing to bet that most other people my age and my generation were looking lost as well. Millennials. Let's just say that I'm a little bit more equipped now. So let's talk about it. A recession. What could it possibly do to our pockets? How could it possibly change our lives? And why is it important now to care about a recession? Well, instead of making it long-winded, it's really quite simple. You see, what a lot of people don't understand is that the last time we had a major recession, the majority of us didn't have access to that information. Well, that's what they say. Does anyone remember the 2015 film The Big Short, where Christian Bale plays Michael Burry, the famed investor who was credited with predicting the 2008 recession? This was 3 years before we actually fell into the 2008 recession due to the housing market bubble that we were in. That just goes to show you that information doesn't trickle down to people like you and me. That's why it's important for us all to care about this recession so that we don't come out the same way we did in 2008. I was unprepared then as a college kid, and with the lack of financial resources and knowledge to take advantage of that situation in the recession, I was out of luck. But I think the real question is, was I willing to stay that way? You either come up in a recession or you lose in one. Let's take a trip down to our local supermarket to find out where this recession is most likely to hit most of our pockets. The supermarket. Doesn't seem like the likely place, right? Well, think again. Remember the days you could catch some delicious party wings on sale for $8.99? Well, inflation says, never! I mean, there aren't even any signs in the noodle section. There's always sale signs in the noodle section. Well, no worries. Let's go over here and try out some salmon. Nope. Same thing. Inflation. Seems like you can't beat it these days. But why is that? Inflation. Yeah, a word that we all know too well, and the leading factor that's going to lead us into this recession that seems inevitable, depending on who you ask.
Tonight, the alarming spike in inflation soaring to its highest level in nearly 40 years.
Fears of recession are growing, showing up in the stock market on this last trading day of the month. The S&P 500 down more than 5% in April so far. So the average American 401k retirement account losing around $6,000 this month alone.
Anything can happen between now and the end of next year. Anything could happen between now and the end of 22. But I will tell you that I think 2022 is fine and that we're not going to be in a recession.
I'm predicting the biggest bust in world history is coming. So it's going to be the biggest opportunity of all times because, Kim and I made our fortunes in 2008.
This is going to cause a lot of problems from a purchasing power point of view. I think the risk of recession has gone up dramatically as purchasing power is dropping dramatically.
Okay, so when we're talking about inflation, we have to remember that there's more factors that are involved in this recession than just inflation. Remember this guy, Vladimir Putin, who started a war with this country? He basically killed the economy around the world. Or at the most, he contributed drastically to the situation a lot of countries find themselves in, like United States. You mean we're not the only country headed for recession? No. Of course, there are other underlying factors that could lead to this recession. You have high oil prices. You have huge chip shortages. You have the Russian-Ukraine war, which is killing the economy because so many American companies had to drop out of that country due to the pressure of public opinion and U.S. sanctions. And a lot of these companies aren't small either. Remember when McDonald's opened its first restaurant in Russia? Yeah, me neither.
The latest American institution to make it all the way to Moscow. Today was opening day for the Soviet Union's first McDonald's, the largest McDonald's in the world.
I mean, just look at the losses that McDonald's incurred just by pulling out of Russia. I mean, McDonald's has already lost $127 million due to the closures, all while still paying wages, still paying the leases on buildings, and still paying suppliers, even though their stores aren't making any money. We eat McDonald's too. Don't you think that would have a global effect on all other countries, seeing as McDonald's is in most countries? Maybe so. And that's just one company. You always want to use some example. And it's not just McDonald's. You have major companies like ExxonMobil, BMW, Toyota, Nike, Adidas, Disney, UPS, Visa. You have all these major corporations leaving a ripple effect around the economy. And it's eventually going to reach United States, which it already has. I mean, we see the effects at the pump on our food and on our pockets. And just to be real, we already had supply shortage problems before the Russian-Ukraine war. It's like everybody forgot the pandemic effect is still here. A lot of businesses were closed during that time period. And guess what? They're still not back.
Y'all must have forgot.
Not even thinking about raising rates. We're totally focused on providing the economy the support that it will need. We think that the economy will need highly accommodative monetary policy. It's just not something that we are feeling or have ever felt really. We will, when the time comes to raise interest rates, we'll certainly do that, and that time, by the way, is no time soon.
This week, the Federal Reserve enacted its steepest interest rate increase since May 2000. The goal, to curb inflation.
Those of us that aren't ready for this recession can only sit back and hope to be okay at the end of it. But for those of us that are paying attention and taking heed, it could be the biggest come up in your life. For me, I know it will be. I missed out once, and I don't intend to again. Taking all of the knowledge I've learned and applying it to a real life situation is now the task. And I know if I can do it, all of my viewers can too. Whether you believe a recession is coming or not, you can't say I didn't warn you. Some of us are sitting back, relaxing, doing nothing, which I can't blame you if that's all you know. But if you see this video, there's a tidal wave a-coming. Interest rate hikes, wars, inflation, stagflation. Say hello to a recession.